Acouste was an Endbase built on Constantiam.net, the third oldest anarchy server in Minecraft. Today I'm going to tell you all about it and the history behind it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. The original story begins back in September of 2021. While still working on my main base at the time, Constantiam, I began to be interested in the thought of an end base. There were only two problems, the first being materials and the second, elytra. You have to remember that elytra only became re-enabled back in April of 2022, meaning that if I didn't want the base to get found on accident, it needed to be semi-far from end spawn for the time. Or so I thought. I made my way out in the end to around 18,000 blocks out and did some building there, along with some other people also. But eventually we all lost motivation of building there and ended up abandoning the base. I would sit on the end base idea again for another few months. Until March of 2022. While traveling away from another base lost to griefers, Zona, I was messaged by Smiley Miko, who was a member of Zona. We talked for a bit in DMs and got the idea to make an end base. This would be my second attempt to make an end base on the server. Now, learning from my mistakes of the original location back from 2021, this base would be way closer to spawn, and I mean really close to spawn, as nobody really wanted to walk tens of thousands of blocks out in the end just for a itty bitty end base that wouldn't last forever, as well, elytras have still been disabled at that time. I went out into the end and chose a location not terribly far out from spawn, and Smiley Miko got us materials needed for the base. Later on, a Discord server related to the base was created and members were invited. The name itself, Acouste, was given to the base by a player of the name El Banco, a respected member of the Constantiam community. I would start making videos at the base around this time too, but there was only one thing. They were pre-recorded. By the time I released the first episode of the building process, the base was already almost finished. At around 70% that was. The block palette was chosen carefully, as blocks such as quartz are very expensive and hard to obtain compared to stone materials and such. I worked on the main part of Acouste, being the decently sized city floating over the void. Nia built her purple house and the roads, Banco built a stone statue at the base, and Henny built his house. We continued to work on the base at peace for the rest of March. April 3rd, 2022. The whitelist has been disabled by Phantom Captain, the admin of Constantiam. But what made matters even worse is not only were there to be more new players exploring the server and its end dimension, elytra has been re-enabled. At this point we knew that Acouste wasn't going to last very much longer. A few days later, after elytra has been re-enabled on the server, 9733, a known base hunter in the community, has been mapping out Constantiam's end dimension, and in the process has stumbled upon Acouste. Luckily, 9733 decided to spare the base and made him an official member of the base shortly after. The base was kept a secret for a few more days, and other members would be invited over to build also. However, the 9733 incident wasn't the only one. While I continued building, suddenly out of nowhere, my visual range hack caught a new player sneaking around the base. I tried to investigate, but it was too late. The player has left and wouldn't return until the next day. I informed the members and we began packing our stuff up. Very next morning, I logged into the base with my old account and saw the player Baboomer at Acouste, stealing stuff from us. I acted quick and killed him right on sight, sending him back to 0-0 of the overworld. They kept trying to convince me that they weren't stealing, but majority of the materials we had there were already gone. I logged off for a few hours. Once I logged back in, the thief was back again. This time, however, I did not kill him. Another one of my basemates at Acouste, Handicrafter1, logged into the base and tried to ender chest ban Baboomer. If you don't know what an ender chest ban is, well, let me explain it to you real quick. After Elytra has been re-enabled, handicapping made the server's anti-cheat very harsh. If you stepped on the chests, you would continue to get kicked off the server until somebody mined out the ender chest for you. Making a chamber full of ender chests surrounded by obsidian would make it almost impossible to escape without being kicked. Unfortunately for us, when we tried to ender chest ban the person, something about the anti-cheat has changed, and Baboomer was killed by the ender chests back to spawn. It was either that or he typed /kill to kill him back to spawn. It doesn't end there though. Back at the overworld, me, Handicrafter and Nia tried to fool Baboomer and get his trust, which ended up working for a bit. We made another obsidian chamber filled with ender chests at the location of my old spawn base, and managed to get him into it. They got kicked a few times, but at the end they managed to type /kill, making them get out of the chamber. The base was over. Other new players were exploring the end dimension to get their hands on Elytras. More and more people are finding the base slowly at a time, with the most recent find being only a few days ago. But that is it for today, the story of Acouste, the end base that could have been, but ultimately never ended up being.